Good morning, everyone. I'll call the meeting to order. The first item is the adoption of the agenda. I'll need a mover and a seconder for that, please. Jess? Second. Jim, all in favor? Carried. Disclosure of pecuniary interest. Does anyone have anything they'd like to declare at this time? No. Seeing none, go on to the minutes. Everyone received a copy of the draft minutes from last meeting. Any questions or changes that need to be made for that? If not, I'll need a motion to adopt the minutes as circulated and printed. Jess, Jim, all in favor? Carried. Business arising from the minutes. Anything from the minutes we need to talk about? Seeing none, we'll go on to the financials. Guess we have a financial to the end of February. Any questions on that? Seeing none. Guess I need a motion to adopt the financials as presented. Bill and Jim, all in favor? Carried. New business skating club update. Jim?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The current situation of skating club, of course, we're winding down. I think the last skate is March 25th, where we'll have a little get together, do a little presentation, pizza and cake. And it's been a good year. Excellent support and help from the staff. Thank you, Adam and crew. And I think everyone is fairly happy, successful with our programs. And we are promoting a power skate program coming next year. We have a certified coach and hopefully to expand that program. And we'll get the ice requirements in shortly.
Thanks, Jim. Any questions for Jim? Seeing none, we'll go on to minor hockey update. Jess, floor is yours.
Yeah, so things are still exciting in Western minor hockey. We've got teams still in playoffs. Our U15 has a do or die game tomorrow night, and our U13 rep team is one game away from punching a ticket to OMHA championships. So that's exciting. We've got some local league consolation games still going on. So our season is winding down, but it's still very exciting. We next up we're starting to think about we've got ice booked for tryouts, so we're already thinking about next season. We will also have our ice request in relatively soon for next year, hoping that we're going to expand on what we have for this year. So that's good all around. We're also planning our year-end awards banquet too, and yeah, so it's good. It's exciting times, but yeah, so thanks to the staff for all of their continued support. I know we've got some games that have to change times, and they've worked with us on that. So appreciative from that perspective. Yeah.
Thanks, Jess. Any questions for Jess and report? If not, staff operations update. Adam, go ahead.
Yeah, not too much on the board right now. We're just counting down days, prepping for ice removal and shortly thereafter board removal. yeah, everything's going smoothly. Groups are starting to finish off their seasons. Not too much ice rental coming up this next week for March break, but I think people have had their fair share of hockey for the season, so that usually is the case come March break. So the plan is still for Monday, March 30th, for ice removal. It leaves a short week for us to get everything out because Easter Monday is scheduled for board removal for that week. So we need to have ice out, paint cleaned, so that they're not tracking stuff all over the building when they're coming in. So it's going to be a busy week leading up to the long weekend. So that's about it.
Thanks, Adam. Any questions for Adam? Go ahead, Jess.
I do have one quick question. Like obviously for this season, with the repairs to the boards and whatnot, the ice removal date of March 30th totally makes sense. Just curious if moving forward with the new dehumidification system and the success that it's been with keeping the humidity out of the building. The only time I actually noticed it was the other day when it was like 17 degrees out. But for what it's worth, the rest of the season has been condensation free. Is that given opportunity for any expansion of our ice in, ice out dates, and if it's a staff hurdle or challenge, that's okay too. But just trying to understand because we're constantly being asked those questions, so I want to just have an answer. That makes sense. I know staff did get asked that question the other day, so just want to be on the same page if that makes sense.
So the ice in date is not too flexible. Mostly staffing. September is by far our busiest month, with park stuff still going strong, students leaving, water and flowers, as well as the Rodney Fair. It's just a real busy time at mid-September. Ice out is more, I understand there's a couple teams that may need a bit more ice, but most other groups are done. And it doesn't warrant keeping ice in if you're not going to have a full schedule. A day here and there is one thing, but if you're talking weeks, I think that's unrealistic in terms of cost. Money in, money out is going to be one-sided, I think. But
Gotcha. So it would be more of a discussion that would happen, if we were keeping a full schedule for longer. It's possible, but that discussion would have to happen uh, later on. That's what you're saying.
yeah,
Not just for a couple of teams.
right. Yeah,
Okay.
you're going to have a full schedule moving forward, and like
Yeah.
we're March 11th today, and I'm already short on ice time through
Yeah.
a couple nights through the week. I'm done at 8 o'clock, right? So we're already losing on revenue, and we still have 3 weeks to go. So
Okay. Okay. I just wanted to make sure I understood kind of the rationale behind ice in and ice out dates. So thank you for that.
Thanks, Adam. Yes. Any other questions for Adam? Seeing none, we'll go on to the concept drawing update. Terry, you doing that?
I sure can. So the next two items really, I guess, kind of go hand in hand between the concept drawing update and the budget discussion. So as you'll see with the attachment, we did receive a quote back. This is just to simply update the drawings. Adam and I did meet with Spreets to go over what can be done. We advise them what is currently sitting in available for funding to see what they can do as far as downsizing, but also trying to keep the same idea of what we'd like to do. Adam, did you want to talk to the drawings a little bit or?
Yeah, so when we did have a meeting with Spreet, we obviously brought up the previous drawing that we had submitted for the grant back, when was that? A year and a half ago-ish?
2020.
2024, yeah, November 2024. That was the wish list of Craft Hockeyville committee, with the 2 additional dressing rooms as well as office space and front entry all added on as an addition to the front of the building. We've kind of kept that idea, but trying to keep it within the footprint of the existing building, seeing what we can get out of 2 dressing rooms, staying without an addition. Actually, that one still had an addition on the front for like the new entryway and stuff. So we kind of hoping they're bringing back 2 drawings for us. The one that minor hockey, Craft Hockeyville would want to push forward more so for space wise, and then one that they kind of scaled back, not necessarily, there's no additional space added to the arena, like footprint wise. It was more a vestibule inside the warm room area, as well as an additional washroom up where the concession, so we don't have to touch the existing washrooms, to try and solidify that accessibility part of it. So hopefully within a month we'll see something back from them if we go forward.
Yeah, so right now this is just the quote to move forward with it. So what I would recommend is that we include this in the budget, which is again the next item. And West Elgin is currently working with a consultant to get our budget done, since we are behind on that. But I would recommend, and probably recommend, 10,000 to put in there for Spreets, in the event that they spend more time on it than what they've quoted in here, just so that we have enough to cover it. But just keeping in mind that this is simply, this cost is just to update our drawings.
So should we be accepting this proposal with a motion from the board then?
I would like that, but have it as pending budget deliberations as well, but budget approval.
Okay, that's fine.
So if by some chance we accept this drawing for the 10,000, 6,400, whatever, and we want to do changes additional, we go back to them again, it'd be another 6,000, 4,000, 3,000.
It could be, and that is why I'm recommending having that extra funding in the budget, so that if we do have to go back to them and they have to change anything, that we've got a little bit of wiggle room between that 6,400 and the 10, so that if they do have to do anything further with it. It's certainly not cheap to have simply for the drawings.
So each time we kick the can, it's another few $1,000.
That is correct. Yes. So we need to really, I guess, buckle down and figure out what we want to do moving forward. So hopefully, as Adam mentioned, they'll come back with a couple different drawings so that we can narrow down what everybody would like to see, and with some compromise between what staff sees and what the user groups see as well, to ensure that we're hopefully accommodating everybody.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Adam.
Yeah, so with ideally two drawings, drawing one would be not within the number of that we have currently. So it would then require additional funds, whether it be fundraising or what have you. And then hopefully drawing B would try and stay within
The footprint.
the funds that we've kind of secured already. Ideally, no guarantees with the way the cost of building is going up. So
In regards to funding, what do we actually have as far as a dollar amount right now that we can tap into? The craft money, the municipalities' contributions, the merchandise money, and everything thrown into the bucket. Any idea what dollar amount we have?
My understanding from what's sitting there right now is the 250 from Kraft Hockeyville, 150 from the West Elgin contributions. I'm not sure, Jess, do you know the total for the merchandise?
About 12.
And then Downers has their money in their reserve, so it's another 108, I think.
Another 108, okay.
Yeah.
That was
108, 108, yeah, 108.
Okay.
now at the same time, we also have leftover funds from dehumidification project,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, that we can ask to be transferred.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was a little over 100 as well.
But we still have to do the boards this year too. And I mean, it was, I think originally that was coming out of reserves and it didn't yet, so.
Yes, only the deposit has been paid on that, but the project itself still came in under budget.
Yeah. Just so everybody understand, I mean, this is not getting plans ready for building or tendering or anything. This is just a concept.
Yeah.
So we'll be looking at more engineering fees as
Absolutely.
time goes on, so they're essential, but they're not cheap.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead, Jess. If you.
Just in terms of like who it's again, so just so I understand, I know Spreet has a long-standing relationship with the municipality, and are they the only firm or engineer that we have reached out to? Is there opportunity for others that might do it more cost effectively? Just trying to understand, it is a lot of money to go back to the drawing board, but I know that there is procurement and vendors and all that kind of stuff from the municipal standpoint. So just want to make sure I understand, kind of why we went with Spreet versus anyone else.
Well, Spreet has done work for us for as long as I've been here, and they already have existing drawings that they can then go off of. So if you bring a new company in, they're starting from scratch, and I'm assuming it's going to be quite a bit more than just picking up a drawing and working off of what they've already measured and all that stuff.
Okay.
Just to piggyback off of that, Jess, certainly there is options that we can go to. We have considered that, but yes, as Adam said, right now, they are the ones that did the initial one. So it would have been easiest just to have them update. So the option's not off the table though, of certainly looking at different avenues.
Right. I remember just from way back, there was a company that was, I believe, and I wasn't on the committee at the time, that was willing to do it sort of pro bono as far as I understood, and I could get that information, but I know that's going to delay this decision. So
That company was willing to do those 4 concept drawings that we had at the Craft Hockeyville event. They did that for free. I don't believe anything else was going to be for free from that company.
Okay. I can gather more information about that if the committee would like. Um, but I know that will delay this decision of moving forward. So I guess we're kind of stuck to a rock and a hard place.
We still need to get going with the new revised drawings, so I think it's probably wise to continue on, and then once we get those, we can talk about going with another engineer, but they're all really, when you get right down to it, unless you get someone that's gonna cut you a real deal, they're all in the same expensive price range. So,
Thanks, Frank.
yep.
Just a question, Jess, what was the name of that company you're thinking of or referring to?
I can't recall, and I did reach out to the person who had brought it forward the other day, but they were at a hockey tournament. So I can pass. I can, and if Adam remembers, I wasn't on the initial committee that was put together. So I'm unsure.
I'm pretty sure I have emails from that company, but they're based out west, I believe. The only reason they got involved was it's like a brother-in-law to Pam Wardell or something like that. There's some relation that brought him to help us out at the time, but we haven't had any communication with that company since then.
Yeah. So they did come in and do drawings. Did they come in and do like measurements and all that kind of stuff, or was it just all, off of digital information? Do you remember?
They didn't do any actual measurements or anything. It
Okay.
was more a photocopy that I sent via email, and they just kind of drew something up real quick. So
Okay.
there's no actual work put into it by them, I don't believe.
Okay.
Go ahead, Jim.
I'm going to assume, and we should never assume, if we brought in another company, chances are they would not even consider looking at the existing drawings. They would likely go out and start measuring everything right from the get-go. And at several $100s an hour, we're gonna eat up this money pretty quick. Just my thoughts.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, it is gonna be substantial to do final drawings and help us through the tender process and everything, but it's a necessary evil, and sometimes you're better off dealing with people, I again, have dealt with streets for too long. Don't even want to say 40 years, I guess, but yeah, and they're respectable, and they've done this sort of work before, so I'm certainly comfortable with it, but doesn't hurt to look around as well. So any other questions? If not, I guess we need a resolution to adopt the estimate from Spreets for the plan renewal and include it in our 2026 budget. So I need a mover and a seconder for that. Jim?
I'll make that motion on the wording you just said, Mr. Chair.
Okay. You got
Do
that?
you want to add any,
Well, you can make the motion if you want, but
top it up to 10,000?
well, that would be in the budget. I don't think we need to put it in a resolution because we don't have it now, but unless you feel different. No. So I need a seconder for that. Jim? All in favor? Carried. No, Bill seconded it. Anything else we want to talk about on that? I guess, I mean, we still could do some fundraising as, once we get a little further along, but it's kind of hard to do that until we know what we're gonna do, but, I don't know if there's any funding coming out for the, handicap, washrooms and stuff.
Accessible washrooms,
Yeah.
not that I'm aware of, but I'll certainly keep an eye.
Yeah.
I do have something to say. I do think that for all the little, I know this is like, the first step and the initial step of getting things um, rolling, but I hope the intent is here from this committee that we um, do at some point discuss, bells and whistles and the little things that need to be done or the little things that are on our users' wish list. Um, that it can all be kind of rolled in. I'd like to see this committee come up with a plan for monetizing the new boards, what that's going to maybe look like, as well as applying for some of those larger grants. I know it's a lot of chicken and egg, but I think, again, I'll say it again, like, shoot for the stars, and see where we land, not just the bare minimum of the initial concept being completed.
Any other comments? Discussion about marine improvements, Jim?
I would think we as a board would entertain every discussion possible to satisfy the potential wish list, so on and so forth. That's just my thoughts. It's going to be a work in progress for, I think, years down the road.
Certainly the board will have a opportunity to look at the plans once we get past the concept stage, and I'm sure Streets will come down and go over everything with us, and yeah, probably won't do that as soon as we get through the concept. You want to you don't want to keep changing things on them because that just costs you more money. So, but nonetheless, I think this committee needs to have lots of communication with Spreet as they go through, if they do the final design work. So we'll certainly keep that in mind, and I think this is correct. That Jim's point is correct. It'll probably be next year at the very, very earliest before you actually start looking at anything other than plans. Anything else? Nothing. We don't need to talk much about the budget discussions yet, and until we get a draft, I guess, maybe hopefully next meeting.
Correct, yes. This was just to give an update that hopefully at the next meeting, we do have a consultant that's working with us. Adam and I will sit down, and certainly I don't think there's any big projects for this year, I should say. The big ones were started last year, so the board replacement is still happening. It's scheduled, the deposit has been paid, but that was from the 2025. So certainly if there's any big ticket items that anybody has in mind, please let us know, so that we can have that in the request.
Any other questions, concerns? Go ahead, Bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So very exciting that we are just about ready to redo the boards. And as we start to do that, I'm sure that the community will notice that and I'm sure appreciate it. But I think we should prepare some messaging just to remind the community that this is just simply a part of the process and not all of the process. 'Cause I wouldn't want people jumping to conclusions thinking that we're spending all that Hockeyville money just on boards. So I think that just some further updates to the community would be a very proactive thing for us to do.
I think we all agree with that. It's we hear every once in a while what's going on there. So, but yeah, go ahead, Jess.
Yeah, I think it's important that we clarify that none of the Hockeyville money is being spent on the board. This is money that money is kind of, if we were to think about it in a thermometer type situation, right? That funding would come from reserves and revenues and whatnot within the budget for any upgrades if we were to phase this out, and that Craft Hockeyville money would be at the very, very top. I think, you know, I think it's important that we make sure that they know we're not spending Craft Hockeyville money on boards. At the end of the day, bottom line's bottom line. But again, perception. I agree with Bill that communication is key.
I totally agree that communication is good. My concern would be that not to cookie cut X numbers of dollars or identify to the public that breaking this out because they're gonna start wanting answers to, okay, when are you actually gonna do the spending of the Hockeyville money? So just keep it kind of generalized instead of trying to break down, this is for this is for this, because we're gonna get 10,000 questions.
Go ahead, Jess.
Yeah. Yeah, no, thank you, Mr. Chair. No, I agree, not cookie cuttering it. I was just giving like an example of how the concept would work, but I agree. But if maybe we could collaborate on that messaging when it's ready to go, maybe that would be good.
Yeah, I think it's important to let people understand that, we've already done the dehumidifier, which was part of the original application. And now we're doing the board. So at least, so they understand we're not just sitting on that money doing nothing. And and also that we've got the engineer working on it. I think that's the right message to send out. And as long as, sure, we'll have questions, but always have questions in this business. So
I think if the public starts to see activity around the arena, they're gonna assume that we're moving forward. And they may think it's Craft Hockeyville money, they may think it's other funding money, but they're gonna see something happening.
anything else? And maybe Jess is right. If we're gonna put a little newsletter, or whatever we're gonna call it out, we could all have a look at it prior to going out, of course. Don't need to wait till the next meeting on that. I think we can all get an email, and if that's what we want to do. Bill's nodding his head. Jess says so as well. So I think we're good with that. So anything else we need to talk about this morning? If not, I guess we need a mover and a seconder to adjourn the meeting.
Make that
Bill?
motion.
Jess? All in favor? Carried.
Thanks, everybody.
Enjoy this rainy day.
Yeah.
You too.
Better than snow.